What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? And welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Zachary Reality, and we are here to recap episode 4 of The Bachelor, aka last night's episode. Oh my God, I need to put this light on because it's right here. Let's see. Okay, we'll put it up like this. Okay. How is everyone doing today? Happy Tuesday. Now, there is an episode tonight as well. I cannot believe they are doing 2 nights in a row. Do we really want that? Do we deserve that? I am excited to see what happens, but 2 nights in a row is a lot. But hey, it's The Bachelor. They've literally done like 3-hour movies. Like they literally do movies. Because the episode is, 2 hours. It's so long. So welcome back. If you guys are just joining in live, I am here in New York City. Please give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe if you have not already. I see that we have a few people in the live chat. What is up? Cooking in the Cocina with Rosemarie. I am so glad that you guys are joining me live. If not, of course, this will be saved for later. So let's chat about episode 4. I watched last night at my friend Nicole's house in the West Village because I am still in New York City. I got here last Tuesday night, and I originally came to interview the cast of Traitors, which was so much fun. I honestly had the best time. 3 of those interviews are already up with Pilot Pete, Dan and Janelle from Big Brother, and then I also put up an interview with Ekin-Su. So you guys are definitely going to want to check those out. But I decided to stay a little bit longer. I was going to stay till Sunday, but then I got invited to some events and I wanted to see some friends. And I was like, fine. Y'all want to keep my schedule busy. I'm going to extend my flight. So it is now Thursday, which is when I will be leaving to go back to LA. I feel like I'm going to be back in New York before I know it. I literally love New York so much. I was invited to like another event Thursday night in New York. With like Amy Schumer and Hulu, and we were gonna go bowling, but I can't change my flight again. Like I literally have to go home. So it'll be a total of 8 to 9 days in the city. And I was staying at Molly's in Hoboken. She is not here on the podcast today, but I'm sure she'll be back tomorrow, if not next week. And then I stayed in the East Village at my other friends, and I stayed at another friend's in Brooklyn. And so I got my own hotel. I ended up getting my own hotel for a couple of nights just to kind of decompress and have my own space. So right now you can see I am in Hell's Kitchen in my hotel, which is so beautiful. This will be my last night in the hotel. Going to stay at Molly's tomorrow and leave Thursday. So just to give you guys the rundown, the New York is just so amazing. It is snowing. Well, it kind of stopped snowing, but it was snowing this morning. And now it stopped. I have an event in about an hour, so I wanted to come on here and recap the show. So sorry for the rambling, but I know you guys like to sometimes hear what I'm doing. Let's talk about episode 4. This was a crazy, juicy episode because we finally had the 2-on-1 between Maria and Sydney. And I don't know about finally, because it is only episode 4, and their drama started, I think, last episode. Yeah, it really only was like a 2-episode buildup. So the drama was definitely built up because clearly they had a lot of tension and they had a lot of things to sort out. And the drama also lived on with Leia and Madina. So let's break it down. Let's get all into it. I do want to start off with Lexi A. Now, she got the one-on-one date this week, and they're in Malta. So Malta is its own little island. It is south of Sicily. So I was like, oh my God, like it's kind of in Italy, but no. Some people in my comments were like, Zach, it's like its own little island. So super cool that they are traveling and that they are jetting off. Tana says, I think it's such a small thing to start drama on, but I think the producers ran with it. Definitely. The producers definitely ran with this drama, but at the end of the day, everybody is responsible for their own words, feelings, what they said and what they did. But I'm sure the producers instigated this, especially putting them on the 2-on-1 date. But back to Lexi, she had a fabulous day in Malta. They went to a church And Lexi was battling with some anxiety. She was planning on opening up to him about her endometriosis on the dinner portion of the group date, which was later in the night. So she was just nervous all day about telling him that she might not be able to have her own biological kids one day, which is super sad. Obviously, it is something that is out of her control. So nothing to be ashamed about. I'm sure it sucks and that there's obstacles that are just maybe frustrating if she wanted to have her own kids naturally, and maybe she still can. It is still possible. However, she did have to tell Joey about this, and he said it like it was okay. Like, what else is he supposed to say? What else is Joey supposed to say? Is he supposed to be like, okay, I'm going to break up with you now? Like, he brought up adoption, he brought up surrogacy. Like, there's other ways that she can conceive a child, and I think that Joey still wants to move forward in this relationship. So Lexi should totally know that somebody is going to love her for who she is and everything about her, and nobody's perfect. So I'm glad that she was able to kind of get that off of her chest. And I'm glad that she was able to move forward with Joey, because it's clear that she is a front runner. I think that she kind of has solidified herself in the top 4. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be definitely Daisy. I mean, she had some great quality one-on-one time this week we saw on the show where they were talking about naming their daughters, like what was it, Emily and something else. So definitely Lexi, definitely maybe Kelsey A. Who do you guys think? Who do you guys think is going to make the top 4? Tina says, do you remember he talked about kid names with Daisy? Yes, he said Emily, but I don't remember the other girl that he said. Patricia, who is joining in live, says that she is Team Maria. She says, I am Team Maria. I deleted my comment because I misspelled Maria. Okay, she originally said Mara. That's okay. I misspell things all the time, and I always get flack for it. So it is what it is. I don't think there's a Coco, Tana, on the show. I just don't think so. So Lexi, she got the one-on-one date rose, so she is safe. Now it is time for the group date. So the group date was the Roman Empire. It was a gladiator group date, and Joey looked super good in it. A lot of girls had great connections, but it was Kelsey T who ended up getting the group date rose. Oh, Coco is the kid's name. Colette. Thank you. Okay, thanks for clearing that up. So Kelsey T has been someone that has been getting romantic music since night 1. Even when she popped out of the limo, I remember on night 1, she got such romantic music, and every single episode, she hasn't gotten crazy airtime. She hasn't been involved in drama, but she has had conversations with Joey that have made air and that have progressed their relationship. She has not got a one-on-one date yet, but getting a group date rose is definitely a big indicator that he's really into you. So I think she'll get her one-on-one dates maybe next week, maybe tonight, maybe soon. Jessica, who is tuning in, says that she believes the final 4 will be Jen, Lexi, Jess, and Kelsey T. I think that Jen could go far. She has gotten airtime. She's progressed her storyline along with Joey. So I could see Jen making it to the top 6. I don't really feel like Jess is going to be there. What do you guys think about Jess? I feel like we were like not supposed to like her night 1. She got drunk. She told everyone she was kissing Joey. But then on week 2, Jess opened up about how she like overcame all these obstacles about being bullied. And like, she doesn't like that people are saying she's too much when she's just trying to be herself. She's kind of like really softened up and showed us a vulnerable side. She seems really sweet. Some people are comparing her to Hannah Brown. But I don't think that Jess has that connection with Joey to go the whole way. Tana says Jen, Daisy, Kelsey A, and Maria. Yeah, because there's Kelsey A and there's Kelsey T. So it could be both Kelseys in the top 4 with Daisy and Lexi and maybe Jen. I just don't think Maria is going to make it, guys. I don't see it. I feel like this episode ended off on a cliffhanger with Maria freaking out and having a meltdown about the whole situation, which we're going to get into in just a few minutes. But I just feel like it might be really hard for Maria to make it the whole way because there's so many obstacles for her between her and the other girls. It just seems like a circle that never ends. And I just feel so bad for Maria. Justice for Maria. I mean, think about everything Maria has been through this season and like all the obstacles coming her way. The girl needs a break. She actually does have a connection with Joey. And the girls, maybe they see that. Maybe she's just was rubbing them the wrong way, but like she has a connection with Joey and she deserves to explore that and move on from that. And it kind of seems like that was going to happen. So let's start breaking down the 2-on-1 date. And I do want to remind you guys, if you are tuning in live or watching later, to give this video a thumbs up and leave your comments down below. Thank you so much. Cooking in the Casino with Rosemary says, I like Maria. She is very strong. I agree. So, of course, Sydney and Maria were chosen for this 2-on-1 date because of their drama from last week's episode. We kind of already talked about it. We know the gist. It was Madina who originally was talking about how she felt insecure about being 31, and Maria was trying to hype her up, but Sydney overheard her trying to hype her up, took it the wrong way, told Madina. Maria tried to talk to Madina about the situation. Madina originally did not want to talk to Maria. Then Maria and Madina finally had an opportunity to talk things out and squash things through. But the drama between Maria and Sydney became a life of its own, which is what propelled them to go on to the 2-on-1 date and be chosen for this date. Because anytime there is a 2-on-1 date on The Bachelor, it usually is because there are two girls who don't get along. And it is an opportunity for shit to go down and everything to explode and for the women to confront each other. So it was so awkward seeing them on the boat ride in Malta. Joey was just like in the middle, not knowing what to do. I don't know why they didn't have like a group conversation. It really felt like they were just sitting there in awkward silence. I feel like if you go on a 2-on-1 date with another girl, like make it a 1-on-1 date, like be aggressive, make it your own. You want to respect the other person, but it's also like so awkward. Like, what is Maria supposed to do in this situation? What is Sydney supposed to do? Like, how are you supposed to talk to Joey until you get a chance with him alone? And because they have so much awkward tension, like I can only imagine the small talk and the awkwardness that was on that boat. But I did feel like watching this date that it was really frustrating because he pulled Sydney aside, got her side of the story. Then he pulled Maria aside, got her side of the story. He never talked to them as a group. And even on the dinner portion of the date, you know, the final moments, he still didn't use the opportunity to address them together and see who's lying. Because clearly Maria or Sydney is lying. Clearly one of them is not telling the truth. Sydney literally told Joey that Maria told Leia to shut the F up. Is Joey going to ask Leia about that? I'd like to know. Did she really say that? I don't think so. Maria said she didn't, and I believe Maria. I'm team Maria in this. I think that Sydney is, you know, seeming very negative, and she's seeming like a downer, and she's saying how she's getting tortured. How is she getting tortured? Like being on The Bachelor, she's getting tortured? Like it's just a tough environment? All these obstacles are throwing her way going on this date? Or is Maria torturing her? It doesn't seem like Maria is torturing her. It seems like Maria had a positive attitude going into this date. She wanted to make the best of it. She's been trying to make the best of every situation. And Sydney is the one who is bringing the vibes down, complaining, bringing up drama. I don't know why Sydney thinks that like she's doing the right thing by bringing it up to Joey, because she originally brought it up to Joey last week. Madina didn't want to say anything. Maria didn't want to say anything. But Sydney constantly and continuously is bringing up the problems to Joey, which is why this has created a bigger issue and why Maria is now having to talk about the other drama in the house when she could be building her connection. Can you imagine the connection that Maria and Joey could have had right now if there was no Sydney? If there was no Sydney. I mean, maybe there are other girls in the house who have issues with Maria. It's probably likely. It seems like Sydney does have a few friends in the house and that maybe Maria has stepped on other people's toes, but it still feels like Maria can't win and that nothing she does is good enough. So Joey talked to Sydney, he talked to Maria, but when he got to the dinner portion, he made it very clear that he does not care about the drama anymore. He likes, he heard both sides and he just doesn't care. So at this point, he just wants to move forward with who he has a bigger connection with, which is such a missed opportunity and so frustrating because like I was saying, if he just talked to them at the same time as a group, he could have gotten to the bottom of the drama. But now it's a mystery. Now it's she said. Now Sydney's gone. And now we're just going to have to wait till the women tell all to really get some clarity on what went down between Maria and Sydney because we're never going to know the truth. We could have known the truth if Joey talked to them, but he didn't want to. The producers didn't want him to. Why could he not just talk to them at the same time? They were all there. It was a 2-on-1. It was the perfect opportunity. Oh my goodness. This episode, this date was really frustrating to watch. Joey decides to send Sydney home at the end of this 2-on-1. He basically said that he just had a stronger connection with Maria, which we knew moving forward, and that it's just not going to work with Sydney. So ding dong, the witch is dead. I feel bad for Sydney. I mean, she did this to herself, but she has gotten a lot of criticism online. And she did post an Instagram reel about how she's been getting a lot of hate messages and she's a human being and she doesn't deserve all this. And she doesn't. She deserves criticism. She deserves for us not to like her as a viewer, right? But she still is a real person. So the death threats and some of the other nasty things people are sending her way, I think are completely inappropriate, uncalled for. And I feel bad for her that she's getting all that. I know some people are saying it's karma. There's some rumors that she was a bully in her real life growing up. I don't know. I would like to hear her out and hear her at the Women Tell All. I mean, Sydney has one chance. I'm sure she'll do a podcast and they'll give her, a platform. But the Women Tell All is Sydney's one chance to clear her name. The Women Tell All is Sydney's one chance for the viewers to hear her out and for her to take accountability and be vulnerable and apologize to Maria and apologize to Madina and explain why she acted the way she acted this season. And that is the Women Tell All. So if I were Sydney, and I really did like her reel, if I were Sydney, I would drink a juice of humbleness and really prep about what you're going to say and think about what you're going to say after watching the episodes so you can go into the Women Tell All being the bigger person, trying to be humble and just being kind and not being uptight. And if Sydney can do that, I think she can win the audience over. We're always going to be Team Maria, but there doesn't need to be teams, right? We can still accept Sydney's apology. So we'll see what she says. I'm glad she's gone. When she left, Maria and Joey finally had a moment of silence between the two of them. And Maria explained that she was nervous moving forward, that Joey was going to be able to put this drama behind him. I hope that he does. It doesn't seem like he's going to be able to now after this Leia and Madina drama, which we're about to get into. But it seems like Joey really liked Maria. So I hope that they're able to move forward because it's not fair and she's not showing her best sides of herself because of all this drama. But it is good that she is showing different sides of herself because now Joey knows the real Maria. Now he's seeing her in conflict. He's seeing her when her back's up against the wall. Like he's getting to know Maria really fast. So I think that if he likes Maria and he sees a future with her, he has had the time. He's seen her in uncomfortable situations. He's had moments of love with her, moments of happiness with her. There's been a lot of different sides to Maria that he's been able to explore. So I hope that Joey makes the best decision for him, but I do think he is smitten with Daisy. And, he likes Kelsey A, he likes Kelsey T, but Daisy is truly like the girl that I think he's like obsessed with. So I feel like he's going to pick Daisy. Okay, let's talk about some of the other drama in the house. The moment y'all been waiting for, when Leia came up to Madina at the rose ceremony and said, hey, let's talk for a second. So we all know Sydney went home and Madina was a friend of Sydney's, but she also was like vibing with Maria. And now that Sydney's gone, she's vibing with Maria without Sydney getting involved. And Maria and Madina have finally found a place where they're able to get along. And they're getting along. And Leia sees that and is confused. Leia's whole thing is that she's wondering why Madina switched up so quick. She was such good friends with Sydney. Leia thought that Madina thought these things of Maria that apparently she thinks and apparently Sydney thinks that Maria is the problem and Maria is the common denominator. So Leia is just wondering, how are you able to move forward with Maria when you were such close friends with Sydney? That's what Leia wants to know. Did Leia have good intentions doing that? The internet is obviously pissed at Leia, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and assume that Leia had good intentions. She just was wondering why Madina switched up, if she was being phony, how she switched up, and she just wants to know how she got there. So that's why she pulled her aside. Okay, that's Leah's argument. She was sweet about it. You guys remember Leia, right? She was the girl on night one who did the very noble thing with the date card where she had the option to steal someone's one-on-one date or that's what she had to do. But she decided that she was just going to throw that date card in the fire. Looks like Leia is going to need that one-on-one date now, which I said back in the day. I was like, you never know when you're going to need that one-on-one date. You never know. And Leia, I know she wanted to do the right thing. She did the right thing for sure, but a one-on-one date could have came in handy because it's not looking too hot for Leia. So we know Leia's side. We know why she pulled her aside. Madina says that she wants to move on. She forgives Maria. Her and Maria talked it out. It doesn't mean she doesn't like Sydney. It just means that she also likes Maria, and you don't have to pick. I like that. I like the way Madina handled this. Madina said, why are you nitpicking what I'm doing? Why are you worrying about what I'm doing? Why are you paying attention to what I'm doing? Why are you questioning what I'm doing? That's all Madina wants to know. She just wants to know why Leia cares so much. She shouldn't care that much. But as I just explained Leia's side, I understand. I see it. As Leia noticed that Madina was getting very upset at the way she was coming at her, she started to cry and she started to say her side. And that's when Leia started to retract. That's when Leia was trying to be like, okay, let's save it. Let's save it. It's okay. All right, now I know. Now I know. Leia just wanted Madina to explain herself in a mature way, hopefully, right? Some of you guys think Leia was starting shit, and maybe she was, but I'm choosing to believe that she was just trying to understand why Madina switched up. So after Madina explained her side, Leia says she understands. They should be able to be fine. Leia and Madina should be able to be fine after that conversation. Tensions are high. I don't know. It felt like they could have resolved things and just moved on. But no, they were not able to move on because Madina then talks to Maria. And Madina explains to Maria what Leia said to her. And I felt like Madina explained it differently. And clearly, some of you guys online disagree with me, but it felt like Madina was twisting it a little bit. It felt like Madina was being like, well, she doesn't think anyone can be your friend in the house. She doesn't understand why we like you now. And Maria's like, wait, what? Like, people can't like me? So I just felt like it kind of got twisted, and maybe Leia and Maria now need to have a conversation. I don't think Madina had bad intentions. I also think Madina like made perfect sense in her argument when she said like, I'm trying to move on from the drama. I'm not being phony. I'm just trying to move on from the drama. She's mature. She's 31. But the way she kind of told Maria set her off. So the episode ended with Maria having a meltdown. Not this again. Here we go again. Everyone's coming for me. Why can't I move forward? Maria thought she got out of the 2-on-1 scout free. She thought she sent her rivals sitting home and that there was going to be no more drama for her moving forward and that she was going to be able to move on with Joey. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to see tonight on the new episode what is going to happen and how Maria is going to handle this situation. Obviously, Leia is now in the hot seat and she might have to talk to Joey. There also is a rose ceremony coming up at any minute. So nobody got sent home on last night's episode besides Sydney because she had the 2-on-1. So I don't know what's going to happen. I kind of think that Maria might be at her breaking point. We didn't see her in the teaser or the trailer. They could have intentionally cut her out. But part of me thinks that Maria is going to send herself home. I don't think she's going to go the distance. I think that this might become too much for her and the drama might become too much for her where she might not be able to see a way forward with Joey. So my prediction for tonight is that Maria sends herself home. Hannah Wilson, who is in the live chat, says Maria for Bachelorette. Maria's great, but I don't think that she's going to be the next Bachelorette. I feel like it's going to be someone else who goes far because I just think that Maria is going to go home. The Bachelorette will most likely be someone from Joey's top 4. So a big announcement, guys, is that The Bachelor did announce another Bachelorette season coming in the summer. So it's probably going to be someone from Joey's season. And a Golden Bachelorette has just been announced that they will be filming that later in the year and airing that in the fall. So we're getting a Golden Bachelorette, which is super exciting news. A lot of fans were anticipating that and waiting on that announcement after the success of the Golden Bachelor. Who do you guys think is going to be the Golden Bachelorette? Let me know in the comments. I think that Leslie is a shoo-in. I think Leslie deserves it. I'm rooting for Leslie. I think that it could be someone new. I'm interested to see how they're going to cast a bunch of eligible 60-plus men, right? That might be hard. Who knows? Maybe it won't be hard. 60-plus-year-old men. Apply, show us what you got. I think it should be Leslie. I think it's going to be Leslie. There's a lot of people online saying maybe Joan, maybe Faith, maybe Sandra, Susan, and Kathy obviously have gotten a lot of love from the audience. I think that if it is Leslie, some of those Golden Bachelorettes could come in for a group date, maybe 2 group dates, and be a part of the season. We've seen that in the past. But I don't think it could be more than one of them. So I think that they're going to choose Leslie. Cooking in the Casino, who's joining in live, says someone new. Kayla says, wondering if Bachelor in Paradise will be back, I also want either Leslie, Faith, or Susan. So there are rumors that Bachelor in Paradise will be canceled this year and that they will be taking a year off. I think they should. I think that last season didn't have a lot of like really popular contestants due to the decline of the show. So it was a little janky. Also, there was no happy couples. So I think it might make sense for them to take a year off of Bachelor in Paradise and then bring it back next year with contestants from Joey's season as well as the next Bachelor season. And also, considering we know that there's going to be a Bachelorette and then a Golden Bachelorette, there probably isn't time in the ABC schedule for there to be a Bachelor in Paradise this year. So I do think it will be canceled. I do think Leslie will be the Golden Bachelorette, and I do think the next Bachelorette will be someone from Joey's season. I think Joey's going to pick Daisy. I think Maria is going to go home soon. And I think that Kelsey A, Kelsey T, and Lexi and Rachel and Jen are going to be the top 6. So those are all my thoughts on The Bachelor episode 4. I really appreciate all of you who tuned in live, or if you missed the live, you know that you can always watch this later, or if you listened as a podcast, as an audio. I appreciate you guys listening. Rate, review, like, comment, and subscribe. I have to get ready. I'm going to an event at 3 in Chelsea. So I'm going to walk, which I'm really excited about because it's only like a 15-20 minute walk and I need to get out of the house since I haven't left the house all day in my cozy apartment. The snow has stopped and someone just knocked on my door, which is probably the room service asking if they want to clean my room. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.